Hey there, book lovers. Welcome to the Book Lounge, your cozy corner for thought provoking reads and life changing ideas. Today, I want you to imagine this. What if you could design your life to extract maximum value, not just from your money, but from your time, your experiences, and your energy? Sounds intriguing, right? We're unpacking Die with Zero by Bill Perkins, a book that challenges everything we think we know about wealth, retirement, and living life to its fullest. If you've ever wondered how to balance saving for the future with truly living in the present, this is the conversation you need to hear. Stick around because this isn't just about money, it's about redefining how you spend your most valuable currency, time. By the end of this, you'll have fresh insights and practical tools to make every moment count, from now until your last. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Optimize Your Life. The first chapter of this remarkable book lays the foundation for an entirely new way of thinking about how we live and, more importantly, why we live the way we do. It challenges the deeply ingrained mindset that we must save endlessly for an uncertain future while sacrificing the richness of our present. The central theme: life is finite, and every moment is a currency you can never get back. If you're not deliberate about how you spend your life, you risk reaching the end of your journey with regrets instead of cherished memories. This chapter opens with a provocative idea. We don't just need to optimize our finances, we need to optimize our entire lives. The goal isn't to accumulate money or possessions, it's to design a life that maximizes fulfillment, joy, and meaningful experiences. To do this, we must break free from the default path society expects us to follow. Work hard, save endlessly, retire late, and only then start living. This mindset is flawed because it assumes that life begins at retirement, ignoring the fact that time and energy are not infinite resources. The power of intentional living. The author urges us to ask a critical question. Am I living in a way that reflects my true priorities? Many of us live on autopilot, making decisions based on what we think we should do rather than what we truly want. This chapter emphasizes the importance of stepping back and taking stock of your life, your dreams, your values, and what truly matters to you. The concept of optimization is introduced as a way to balance the use of your time, money, and energy across different stages of life. For example, when you're young, you might have boundless energy but limited financial resources. In midlife, you may have more money but less time, weighed down by responsibilities. And in old age, even if you're wealthy, your physical capacity to enjoy certain experiences diminishes. This is why waiting for someday is such a dangerous trap. To optimize your life, you must match your spending and activities to your current abilities and stage of life. Want to hike through the mountains or backpack through Europe? You'll enjoy it far more in your 30s than in your 70s. Dream of building deeper connections with family or friends? Don't wait for retirement to create those moments. They can slip away faster than you realize. Time is your most valuable currency. This chapter drives home a powerful truth. Time is more valuable than money. While you can always make more money, you can never get back time. Yet many people treat time as an unlimited resource, postponing their dreams and passions in favor of work or other obligations. The author challenges this mindset, arguing that every year of your life has a unique value. And the sooner you recognize this, the sooner you can start making decisions that align with your priorities. This doesn't mean being reckless or irresponsible with your finances. It's about spending intentionally with the understanding that money is simply a tool to create meaningful experiences. The chapter emphasizes the need to invest in experiences over material possessions. Unlike objects, experiences grow in value over time because they shape who we are and provide a lifetime of memories to cherish. The cost of waiting. One of the most compelling arguments in this chapter is the idea that waiting comes with a cost. Many people delay enjoyment, thinking they'll have plenty of time in the future to do what they love. But life is unpredictable. Health declines, responsibilities grow, and opportunities pass. The longer you wait to live the life you want, the higher the cost becomes. Imagine a scale where one side represents your money and the other represents your life energy. If you spend all your time and energy accumulating wealth for a future you may not fully enjoy, the balance will never align. means tipping the scale toward experiences and fulfillment while you still have the capacity to enjoy them. Actionable steps to optimize your life. This chapter isn't just theoretical, it's highly actionable. The author encourages readers to take immediate steps to start living intentionally. 1. Define what matters most to you. Reflect on your core values and priorities. What experiences would bring you the greatest joy and fulfillment? 2. Create a bucket list. Don't wait to write down the things you want to experience in life. Visualize them and set a timeline for achieving them. 3. Assess your spending. Are you using your money to create meaningful experiences, or are you wasting it on things that don't bring lasting happiness? 4. Allocate time wisely. Evaluate how you spend your days. Are your daily habits aligned with your long-term vision of a fulfilling life? 5. Shift your mindset. Start thinking of money as a resource to unlock opportunities, not as an end goal. Living without regrets. The final takeaway from this chapter is that living an optimized life is about minimizing regrets. Regret often stems from things left undone, the missed chances, the dreams deferred, the connections left unmade. By optimizing your life, you ensure that you won't reach the end of your days wondering, what if? This chapter serves as a wake-up call to rethink the way we live. It challenges us to let go of fear and societal expectations and instead focus on creating a life rich in experiences, relationships, and meaning. The clock is always ticking, and the time to start optimizing your life is now. Chapter 2, Invest in Experiences. This chapter delves into one of the most transformative principles for living a richer, more fulfilling life, prioritizing experiences over material possessions. It argues that true wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by the memories, relationships, and personal growth you gain from the moments that matter. Too often, people fall into the trap of believing that accumulating material things, bigger houses, luxury cars, or expensive gadgets will bring them happiness, but possessions lose their novelty over time. Experiences, on the other hand, appreciate in value. The joy they bring doesn't fade, it deepens as they become stories, cherished memories, and even part of your identity. Why experiences matter more than things. At the heart of this chapter is a striking realization. Experiences are the fabric of a well-lived life. They shape who we are, how we see the world, and the connections we form with others. Unlike material goods, which depreciate and become outdated, experiences remain evergreen in our minds. Think about your happiest moments. Chances are they weren't tied to things you bought, but to things you did. A spontaneous road trip, a once-in-a-lifetime vacation, a night of laughter with friends. These are the moments that define us. They provide meaning, growth, and connection in a way no material object ever could. This chapter challenges the notion that delaying gratification is always virtuous. It warns against putting off meaningful experiences in the hope that you'll enjoy them someday. That someday might never come, or it might arrive at a time when your physical health, energy, or relationships make it impossible to fully embrace the experience. One of the chapter's most compelling ideas is the concept of the experience dividend. Just like financial investments generate returns over time, experiences offer emotional and psychological returns long after they've occurred. For example, a trip to a new country doesn't just bring joy in the moment, it enriches your perspective, deepens your appreciation for diversity, and gives you stories to share for a lifetime. The memories created continue to deliver value over the years, giving you far more return than any material purchase ever could. Moreover, experiences strengthen relationships. Shared moments like traveling with family, celebrating milestones, or tackling challenges together create bonds that stand the test of time. These shared memories become a treasure trove of connection, something no material object can replicate. The importance of timing. Timing plays a critical role in how much value we derive from experiences. This chapter emphasizes that experiences need to be aligned with your stage of life. There are things you can only enjoy fully when you're young, energetic, and free from certain responsibilities. Waiting too long to pursue them can mean missing out entirely. For instance, taking a backpacking trip across a foreign country in your 20s or 30s offers a level of adventure and spontaneity that may feel impossible later in life. Similarly, creating special moments with your children while they're still young builds memories they'll carry with them forever. The author urges readers to be proactive in creating and prioritizing experiences while they're still physically, emotionally, and mentally capable of enjoying them to the fullest. Postponing everything until retirement may sound sensible, but it's a gamble. Your health, mobility, or circumstances may not align with your dreams when the time comes. Overcoming the fear of spending. Many people hesitate to spend money on experiences, believing it's more prudent to save for the future. This chapter confronts that fear head on. It argues that while saving is important, hoarding wealth at the expense of living is a tragic mistake. The cost of experiences isn't just monetary, it's also measured in time. Every year you delay experiencing something meaningful is a year you'll never get back. Instead of fixating on financial security, the author encourages readers to think of money as a tool for creating joy, growth, and connection. This doesn't mean being reckless with your finances. It means making intentional choices about how you allocate your resources. Spending on experiences that align with your values and priorities is one of the most worthwhile investments you can make. Designing an experience-focused life. To fully embrace the philosophy of investing in experiences, the chapter provides actionable steps. 1. Identify your dream experiences. Take time to reflect on what truly excites and fulfills you. Is it traveling the world, learning a new skill, or spending more quality time with loved ones? Write these down and make them a priority. 2. Budget for experiences. Shift your financial mindset to prioritize spending on experiences over material goods. Set aside funds specifically for creating meaningful moments. 3. Don't wait for perfection. There will never be a perfect time to do something. Waiting for the stars to align often leads to missed opportunities. Start small if needed, but take action. 4. Focus on quality, not quantity. Meaningful experiences don't have to be extravagant or expensive. What matters is the emotional impact they create. A quiet picnic with someone you love can be just as fulfilling as a lavish vacation. 5. Build a legacy of memories. Create traditions and moments that bring joy to you and those around you. The experiences you share with others often leave a lasting impact on their lives as well. Living for the memories, not the things. This chapter ends with a poignant reminder. At the end of your life, you won't be reminiscing about the cars you owned or the clothes you wore. You'll be reflecting on the adventures you took, the lessons you learned, and the people you shared them with. By investing in experiences, you're not just enriching your own life. You're creating a legacy of stories, connections, and memories that will outlive you. The chapter challenges you to stop waiting for the right time and start creating the life you want today. Because when all is said and done, it's not the things you owned that define your life, it's the moments you lived. Chapter 3, Why Die with Zero? This chapter unveils a thought-provoking idea that redefines our relationship with money, time, and the purpose of life itself. The goal isn't to leave behind as much wealth as possible, but to live a life so rich in experiences, fulfillment, and impact that you have nothing left to give away at the end. This is the essence of dying with zero, not recklessness, but intentional living. At its core, the chapter challenges the conventional wisdom of working tirelessly to accumulate wealth without ever truly enjoying it. Many people operate under the assumption that life is about earning, saving, and then passing down a financial legacy to their loved ones. But this mindset often leads to a life of unnecessary sacrifice, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled dreams. Dying with zero isn't about neglecting your responsibilities. It's about aligning your money and resources with your life's ultimate purpose: to live fully, create meaningful experiences, and maximize joy for yourself and those you care about. The problem with leaving too much behind. One of the central questions posed in this chapter is, what's the point of accumulating wealth if you don't get to enjoy it? Many people spend their healthiest, most energetic years focused on earning and saving, only to discover too late that they've sacrificed their best opportunities for living. The chapter highlights a sobering truth. You can't take your money with you when you die. And while leaving behind an inheritance might seem noble, it's often unnecessary or poorly timed. Children and loved ones usually need financial help most when they're young and struggling to establish themselves, not decades later when they're financially stable and the inheritance has lost its potential to truly impact their lives. By waiting too long to give, you risk wasting your hard-earned resources on a future that might never come. Worse, you may find yourself with regrets, opportunities to travel, connect with loved ones, or pursue passions lost forever because you prioritize saving over living, balancing your life energy and your wealth. The chapter introduces the idea of balancing your wealth with your life energy. Every dollar you earn represents a piece of your time and effort, a portion of your finite life. If you hoard your wealth and never spend it on the things that truly matter, you're essentially wasting that precious energy. To die with zero means aligning your spending with your life stages. This isn't about irresponsibly depleting your savings. It's about making conscious decisions to use your money when it will have the greatest impact. In your younger years, this might mean traveling, exploring, or taking risks. In midlife, it could mean investing in family experiences or personal growth. And later in life, it might mean creating memories with grandchildren or contributing to causes that resonate with your values. By thoughtfully planning your financial trajectory, you can ensure that every dollar you've earned serves a purpose, whether it's creating joy, building connections, or leaving a meaningful legacy. Time is not infinite. A powerful theme in this chapter is the finite nature of time. Unlike money, which can be earned, invested, and multiplied, time is a resource that's constantly running out. Every moment spent delaying your dreams or deferring your happiness is a moment you can never reclaim. The chapter challenges readers to confront the reality of their mortality, not to instill fear, but to inspire action. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing you have plenty of time to do what you love. But the truth is, none of us know how much time we have left. By procrastinating on the things that matter, you risk squandering the only life you'll ever have. Dying with zero means making a deliberate effort to spend your limited time wisely. It means prioritizing experiences, relationships, and passions over the illusion of security that comes from hoarding wealth. Giving while you're alive. One of the most compelling ideas in this chapter is the concept of giving while living. Rather than waiting to pass on wealth after death, the chapter advocates for distributing your resources while you're still alive to witness their impact. Giving while living allows you to see the joy and transformation your generosity can create. Whether it's helping a child pay for college, supporting a friend in need, or donating to a cause you care deeply about, giving in real time creates ripple effects that extend far beyond the monetary value of your gift. It also strengthens relationships and builds deeper connections with the people you care about. Watching someone thrive because of your support is far more rewarding than leaving behind a will that allocates your assets after you're gone. The fulfillment curve. This chapter introduces the concept of the fulfillment curve, a framework for understanding the relationship between money and happiness. The curve demonstrates that happiness increases as you spend money on meaningful experiences, but only up to a certain point. Beyond that peak, additional wealth adds little to no value to your life. By recognizing where you are on the fulfillment curve, you can make smarter decisions about how to use your resources. If you've already achieved financial security, it's time to shift your focus from accumulating more to creating a richer, more fulfilling life. Reframing legacy. Dying with zero doesn't mean neglecting your legacy. It means redefining it. A meaningful legacy isn't about how much money you leave behind. It's about the memories, values, and impact you create during your lifetime. Rather than accumulating wealth to pass down, focus on creating experiences that bring joy to your loved ones and yourself. Teach your children the value of living intentionally. Share stories, wisdom, and traditions that will outlast any inheritance. Your legacy is the life you live, not the money you leave. Living without regrets. The ultimate goal of dying with zero is to live a life free from regrets. By aligning your spending, time, and energy with your true priorities, you ensure that every stage of your life is meaningful. This chapter inspires readers to think critically about how they're using their resources. Are you saving out of fear, or are you creating a life of joy, growth, and connection? Are you postponing happiness for a future that may never arrive? Dying with zero is about embracing life's impermanence and using it as motivation to live boldly, generously, and intentionally. It's not about recklessness. It's about making sure that when your time comes, you can look back and say, I gave it everything I had. Chapter 4: How to Spend Your Money Without Actually Hitting Zero Before You Die. This chapter takes a practical turn, providing a roadmap for mastering one of life's most delicate balancing acts: spending your money in alignment with your goals, passions, and timeline without running out of resources too soon. It answers the question that often holds people back from fully enjoying their wealth. How do you ensure you make the most of your money while staying financially secure? The chapter challenges the fear-driven mindset of saving just in case and introduces strategies to help you allocate your resources in ways that maximize fulfillment, minimize waste, and maintain peace of mind. It's not about reckless spending or living paycheck to paycheck. It's about creating a system where your money works for you, funding a life rich in experiences and free of regret. The fear of running out. For many, the thought of spending down their savings triggers anxiety. What if you outlive your money? What if an unforeseen emergency arises? These fears are valid, but this chapter argues that they're often overblown and can paralyze people into hoarding their wealth far beyond what's necessary. The chapter emphasizes that the goal is not to spend recklessly, but to strike a balance. Living in constant fear of financial insecurity can rob you of the joy and opportunities you've worked so hard to create. Conversely, running out of money prematurely can lead to unnecessary hardship. The key lies in understanding your financial needs and planning thoughtfully to meet them while fully living your life. The personal net worth curve. One of the key concepts introduced here is the personal net worth curve. This curve represents the natural rise and fall of your wealth over the course of your life. In your younger years, your net worth typically grows as you earn, save, and invest. However, as you age, your spending should gradually taper off as you focus on using those savings to fund the experiences and goals you've prioritized. The chapter emphasizes that the goal isn't to maintain the highest possible net worth until the end of your life. Instead, it's about optimizing that curve so that your resources are used when they can bring the most joy, fulfillment, and impact. Ideally, by the time you pass away, your wealth has been thoughtfully distributed, leaving little to nothing behind, financially, but an abundance in memories and legacy. The importance of calculating your needs. To avoid both overspending and underspending, the chapter encourages you to calculate how much you'll actually need to live the life you want. This involves factoring in your current expenses, future goals, and expected lifespan, as well as accounting for inflation, healthcare, and other long-term considerations. The chapter stresses the importance of being realistic. Overestimating your needs can lead to unnecessary sacrifices, while underestimating them can create financial strain. Tools like financial advisors, budgeting software, and retirement calculators can help you determine a clear picture of your financial trajectory. Spending with purpose. This chapter emphasizes that spending should always align with your values and priorities. Every dollar you spend is a reflection of what you deem important, so it's essential to be intentional. Whether it's traveling the world, building memories with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or supporting meaningful causes, your money should serve the life you want to create. It also urges you to avoid falling into the trap of mindless spending, purchasing things out of habit or societal pressure. Instead, focus on spending money in ways that truly enhance your happiness and well-being. Experiences, personal growth, and connections with others consistently offer more long-term fulfillment than material goods. Time buckets. Aligning spending with life stages. A particularly powerful strategy introduced in this chapter is the concept of time buckets. The idea is simple, yet transformative. Divide your life into different stages and assign specific experiences, goals, and spending priorities to each bucket. For example, your 20s and 30s might focus on adventure, career building, and self-discovery. In your 40s and 50s, you might prioritize family, deepening relationships, and creating stability. Later in life, your focus could shift to reflecting on your legacy, enjoying quieter moments, and giving back. By aligning your spending with these time buckets, you ensure that you're allocating your resources at the moments when they'll have the greatest impact. It prevents the common pitfall of postponing experiences until they're no longer feasible or enjoyable due to age, health, or changing circumstances. The role of planning and adjusting. The chapter underscores that achieving the balance between spending and saving isn't a one-time decision. It's an ongoing process that requires regular assessment and adjustments. Life is unpredictable, and your financial plan needs to evolve with your circumstances. Regularly revisiting your goals, budget, and investments helps you stay on track and adapt to changes. It also allows you to fine-tune your spending to ensure it aligns with your current stage of life. The chapter also highlights the importance of embracing flexibility. No plan is perfect, and unexpected events will occur. Having a cushion for contingencies can provide peace of mind while still allowing you to enjoy your money and experiences. Leveraging annuities and other tools. For those worried about running out of money too soon, the chapter introduces financial tools like annuities. These products provide a steady stream of income for life, offering a safety net that ensures you'll never be completely without resources. While annuities may not be the right choice for everyone, they can be a valuable option for mitigating the fear of outliving your money. The chapter advises consulting with financial experts to determine whether such tools align with your goals and circumstances. Reframing the purpose of money. Ultimately, this chapter reframes money not as an end in itself, but as a means to create a meaningful life. Money is a tool, and its true value lies in what it enables you to do. Live purposefully, connect deeply with others, and create memories that outlast any bank balance. It encourages readers to shift their focus from accumulation to optimization. Instead of asking, "How much can I save?" the better question is, "How can I use my money to live the richest life possible?" A life well spent. The chapter concludes with a poignant reminder. The goal isn't to leave behind piles of unused money, but to leave behind a life well lived. By aligning your spending with your values, timing your experiences thoughtfully, and planning with purpose, you can ensure that every dollar you've earned serves its highest purpose. A life of intentional spending is one of joy, connection, and fulfillment. It's not about hitting zero recklessly, but about reaching the end of your life with nothing left undone, no regrets, no unfulfilled dreams, and no wasted time. Chapter 5, What About the Kids? This chapter tackles one of the most emotionally charged aspects of wealth and legacy: how to approach financial support for your children. It challenges the conventional notion of waiting until death to leave behind an inheritance and offers a new perspective, one that's rooted in timing, impact, and fostering a meaningful relationship with your loved ones while you're alive. The central idea is simple but powerful. Giving to your children should be less about leaving a posthumous financial windfall and more about supporting them at the right time in their lives. It's about being deliberate with your resources to create opportunities, reduce struggles, and cultivate joy when it matters most. The timing of inheritance. The chapter begins by questioning the traditional approach to inheritance. Most people leave behind wealth when they pass away, often in their 70s or 80s. But by the time their children receive this money, they're often well into middle age, established in their careers with their own families, homes, and savings. While the inheritance might be appreciated, it rarely comes at a time when it can make the most significant difference. Instead, the chapter advocates for giving money when it can have the highest impact. Young adulthood, for example, is a period filled with financial challenges and opportunities. Starting a career, paying off student loans, buying a first home, or raising young children. Supporting your kids financially during these formative years can help them build a strong foundation, avoid unnecessary struggles, and pursue their dreams with less fear of failure. Giving while you're alive. One of the key messages in this chapter is the importance of giving while you're still alive. This approach allows you to see the joy and growth your contributions create. It strengthens your relationships with your children and gives you the satisfaction of knowing your resources are making a tangible difference in their lives. For example, instead of waiting to pass down a large sum after your death, you could help your child with a down payment on their first home or fund their education. These actions create ripple effects, enabling them to achieve stability and success earlier in life. Moreover, giving while you're alive also fosters open communication. You can discuss your values, intentions, and expectations, ensuring your support aligns with your children's needs and goals. It creates opportunities for meaningful conversations about money, responsibility, and gratitude, lessons that are often lost in the traditional inheritance model. Avoiding dependency and entitlement. A common concern about giving money to children is the fear of fostering dependency or entitlement. This chapter acknowledges that risk, but offers practical strategies to mitigate it. The key is to strike a balance between support and independence. Financial gifts should be seen as a tool to empower your children, not enable them. It's about giving them the resources to build their own lives while encouraging responsibility and initiative. One way to achieve this is by tying financial support to specific goals or milestones. For example, you might offer to pay for a portion of their education, help them start a business, or contribute to a home purchase. This approach reinforces the idea that money is a means to an end, not an end in itself. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of clear communication, set boundaries and expectations around financial support, and encourage your children to be active participants in their financial journeys. Teach them the value of hard work, saving, and investing, so they develop the skills to manage their own resources effectively. The emotional benefits of early giving. Beyond the financial impact, early giving creates profound emotional benefits for both parents and children. For parents, it's an opportunity to witness the fruits of their labor in action. Seeing their children thrive because of their support is one of life's greatest rewards. For children, receiving financial help during critical moments fosters a sense of connection and gratitude. It also builds trust and strengthens familial bonds, creating a legacy far more valuable than money alone. By giving intentionally and thoughtfully, you create memories that outlast any inheritance. Whether it's helping your child take their dream vacation, supporting them through a tough time, or celebrating their milestones together, these moments become the true measure of your legacy. Reevaluating traditional values around inheritance. This chapter also challenges societal norms around wealth, legacy, and the idea of leaving something behind. Many people feel obligated to preserve their wealth for future generations, often at the expense of their own happiness and fulfillment. But this chapter flips the script. What if the best gift you can give your children is a life well lived and shared experiences? The chapter argues that your legacy isn't defined by how much money you leave behind. It's the impact you have on your children's lives while you're still here. By modeling a life of intentionality, generosity, and balance, you teach your children to value experiences, relationships, and memories over material wealth. Teaching financial responsibility. An important aspect of this chapter is the emphasis on teaching your children how to manage money effectively. Financial gifts are most impactful when paired with financial literacy. This ensures that your children use the resources wisely and continue to build on the opportunities you've provided. Start early by teaching your children the basics of budgeting, saving, and investing. Share your own experiences with money, the successes and the mistakes, so they can learn from your journey. Encourage them to set financial goals and make thoughtful decisions about their spending and saving. When giving financial gifts, consider including an educational component. For example, you might offer to match their savings toward a specific goal or help them work with a financial advisor to create a plan. This approach reinforces the idea that money is a tool for achieving meaningful outcomes, not a source of entitlement. Planning for future generations. The chapter concludes by encouraging readers to think beyond their immediate family. Early giving isn't just about supporting your children. It's about creating a ripple effect that benefits future generations. By helping your children establish strong financial foundations, you empower them to do the same for their own children. This multi-generational impact is a powerful way to ensure your legacy lives on. It's not about leaving behind a pile of money. It's about leaving behind a blueprint for living a meaningful, purposeful life. The gift of time and love. Finally, the chapter reminds us that the most valuable gifts we can give our children aren't financial. They're our time, love, and attention. Money is a tool, but it's the moments we share, the lessons we teach, and the memories we create that truly matter. By giving intentionally, thoughtfully, and at the right time, You can ensure that your resources create the maximum impact, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. This is the essence of leaving a legacy, not in what you leave behind, but in how you live and love while you're here. Chapter 6, Balance Your Life. This chapter delves into one of the most profound and challenging aspects of life, achieving balance. It underscores that true fulfillment lies not in extremes, whether it's relentless work, excessive saving, or unrestrained indulgence, but in finding a harmony that allows you to thrive emotionally, physically, and financially. The central message is clear. Life is short, and the art of living well requires a thoughtful approach to balancing your time, money, and energy. The elusive nature of balance. The pursuit of balance is often complicated by competing priorities. Many people are trapped in cycles of overwork, believing that their future selves will reap the rewards of their sacrifices. Others fall into the opposite trap of living entirely in the moment, only to face long-term consequences of neglecting their health, finances, or relationships. This chapter argues that both extremes are flawed. Life isn't about sacrificing now for later or living recklessly with no plan. It's about understanding how to allocate your resources across your lifespan. Balance is not static. It's dynamic, shifting as your circumstances, priorities, and resources evolve. It requires consistent reflection and recalibration, making it a lifelong practice rather than a one-time achievement. The three resources: time, money, and energy. The chapter emphasizes that your life is governed by three finite resources: time, money, and energy. Mastering balance requires understanding how these interact and prioritizing them effectively at different stages of your life. Time is the most limited resource. You can't make more of it, and it steadily runs out. It's crucial to recognize that certain experiences and opportunities have expiration dates. What you can do in your 20s might not be possible in your 60s. Money is replenishable, but often over-prioritized. While financial security is essential, hoarding wealth at the expense of experiences or relationships leads to missed opportunities. The chapter stresses the importance of spending money in ways that enhance your life, rather than letting it sit idle. Energy is a finite and fluctuating resource. Physical stamina and mental sharpness peak at different times in your life. Ignoring this reality can result in burnout or an inability to fully enjoy the fruits of your labor. Achieving balance means recognizing how these resources interact and making intentional decisions about when and how to use them. The life stages of balance. The chapter introduces the idea that balance looks different at various stages of life. For example, in your youth, you have ample energy and time, but limited money. This is the ideal stage for taking risks, exploring passions, and investing in growth. In middle age, you may have more money but less time and energy. This is the stage to focus on creating stability while still prioritizing meaningful experiences and relationships. In your later years, you have time and often money, but your energy wanes. This stage is about reflection, legacy, and savoring the life you've built. By aligning your choices with your current stage of life, you can maximize the impact of your resources and live with fewer regrets. Avoiding the extremes. This chapter critiques two common but harmful approaches to life: oversaving and overspending. Oversaving. Many people sacrifice present happiness by saving excessively for an uncertain future. While financial prudence is important, oversaving can rob you of opportunities to enjoy life while you're young and capable. This mindset often stems from fear of running out of money or of not being prepared for the worst-case scenario. The chapter encourages reframing this fear and embracing a more balanced approach to saving and spending. Overspending. On the flip side, living recklessly without regard for the future can lead to financial hardship and regret. The chapter advocates for mindful spending, channeling your money into experiences and goals that truly matter to you, rather than indulging in short-term gratification. The key is finding the middle ground, saving enough to ensure stability, but spending enough to create a rich and fulfilling life. The power of reflection and intentionality. Achieving balance requires self-awareness and intentionality. The chapter urges readers to regularly reflect on their priorities and ensure their actions align with their values. This means asking yourself questions like, what truly matters to me? Am I spending my time, money, and energy on things that bring me joy and fulfillment? Am I neglecting any area of my life in pursuit of another? Reflection isn't just about identifying imbalances, it's about taking actionable steps to correct them. The chapter emphasizes that balance isn't something you achieve once and forget. It's a continuous process of learning, adjusting, and evolving. Saying no to the wrong things. Another critical aspect of balance is learning to say no. Time and energy are finite, and every yes to something means a no to something else. The chapter encourages readers to prioritize what truly matters and let go of obligations, habits, or activities that don't serve their goals or values. This might mean setting boundaries at work, letting go of toxic relationships, or simplifying your lifestyle. By focusing on what brings you joy and fulfillment, you free up resources for the things that truly matter. The role of relationships. The chapter highlights that balance isn't just about managing resources, it's also about nurturing relationships. The people in your life, family, friends, and community, are often the greatest sources of joy and support. Neglecting these connections in pursuit of work, wealth, or other goals can lead to loneliness and regret. Achieving balance means making time for the people who matter, showing up for them, and fostering meaningful connections. These relationships are the foundation of a life well lived. The cost of imbalance. The chapter concludes with a sobering reminder of the cost of imbalance. Whether it's burning out from overwork, missing out on meaningful experiences, or neglecting relationships, the consequences of an unbalanced life are profound. However, it also offers hope. Imbalance is not permanent. By reflecting on your choices, reassessing your priorities, and making intentional changes, you can recalibrate and move closer to the life you desire. A life in harmony, balance is not a destination, but a journey. It requires self-awareness, flexibility, and the courage to make intentional choices. It's about harmonizing your time, money, and energy to create a life that feels rich, meaningful, and true to your values. This chapter serves as a call to action, to stop chasing extremes, to embrace the ebb and flow of life, and to prioritize what truly matters. It's a reminder that balance isn't just a strategy, it's the key to living fully and without regret. Chapter 7. Start to time bucket your life. This chapter introduces an innovative and powerful concept called time bucketing, a practical framework to help you organize your life, focus on your priorities, and ensure that your resources are spent on the things that truly matter to you. Time bucketing is about looking at your life as a series of distinct phases, each with its own unique opportunities, goals, and experiences. By using this method, you can take control of your time and energy, ensuring that your life feels purposeful and rich with fulfillment. The time bucket framework. The essence of time bucketing is simple. Divide your life into distinct periods or buckets and assign specific goals, experiences, and priorities to each one. Think of each bucket as a chapter in your life: childhood, young adulthood, middle age, retirement, and beyond. Time bucketing acknowledges that life is finite and that certain experiences and goals are only achievable during specific stages. It encourages you to plan with intention, taking into account your age, energy levels, and life circumstances at each stage. Instead of letting life pass you by or clinging to a vague someday, you set concrete plans to make the most of your resources at the right moments, aligning experiences with life stages. One of the key insights of time bucketing is recognizing that experiences have expiration dates. Your physical health, energy, and responsibilities change as you age, and with them, the types of activities and goals you can realistically pursue. For instance, a physically demanding adventure like climbing a mountain or hiking through a rainforest might be ideal in your 20s or 30s, but may not be feasible in your 60s. On the other hand, quiet pursuits like writing a memoir or enjoying time with grandchildren might be better suited for later in life. By mapping out what you want to do and when, you can ensure that you don't miss out on experiences that are time sensitive. This chapter emphasizes the importance of living with urgency, not in a panicked way, but with a sense of purpose and awareness that time waits for no one. How to create your time buckets. To begin time bucketing, you start by envisioning your life as a whole and breaking it down into manageable periods. These buckets can be defined by age ranges, your 20s, 30s, 40s, or major life milestones, raising kids, career growth, retirement. Once you've defined these periods, the next step is to fill each bucket with specific goals, experiences, and aspirations. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve during this period of my life? What experiences would bring me the most joy, fulfillment, or growth at this stage? What skills, adventures, or relationships do I want to focus on? By assigning goals and activities to each time bucket, you create a roadmap for your life. This doesn't mean every detail is set in stone. It's a flexible framework that evolves as your priorities and circumstances change, but it provides direction and ensures that you're making conscious choices about how to spend your time and energy. Prioritize what matters most. Time bucketing is also a powerful tool for prioritization. It forces you to confront the reality that you can't do everything at once, nor can you postpone everything indefinitely. It helps you focus on what's most important right now, while also planning for the future. For example, if you've always dreamed of traveling the world, you might place that goal in your bucket for your 30s or 40s, when you have the energy and freedom to explore. If starting a family is a priority, you might focus on that during your 20s or 30s, knowing that your later years can be dedicated to personal projects or relaxing pursuits. This process of prioritization is liberating. It removes the stress of feeling like you need to do everything at once and replaces it with a sense of purpose and clarity. The role of reflection and recalibration. Time bucketing isn't a one-time exercise. It's a living process that requires regular reflection and recalibration. Life is unpredictable, and your goals and priorities will inevitably shift over time. The chapter encourages you to periodically revisit your time buckets and adjust them as needed. Reflection allows you to celebrate your progress, learn from your experiences, and stay aligned with your values. It's an opportunity to ask yourself, am I on track with my goals? Are my current actions aligned with what I truly want? Do I need to shift my priorities or reassign experiences to different buckets? This ongoing process ensures that your life remains dynamic and responsive to change rather than rigid or stagnant. Overcoming common obstacles. The chapter also addresses common obstacles that prevent people from effectively using their time buckets. One of the biggest challenges is procrastination, putting off experiences and goals until someday, only to realize later that the opportunity has passed. To combat this, the chapter urges you to confront your fear of failure or discomfort. Often, people delay their dreams because they're afraid of the unknown or worry about what others might think. Time bucketing encourages you to take bold, intentional action, knowing that your time is too precious to waste on hesitation. Another obstacle is overcommitment. It's easy to fill your buckets with too many goals, spreading yourself too thin and diluting your focus. The chapter stresses the importance of quality over quantity, choosing a few meaningful goals for each stage of life rather than trying to do it all. Living with purpose and intentionality. At its core, time bucketing is about living with purpose and intentionality. It's a way to ensure that your life isn't a series of missed opportunities or unfulfilled dreams. Instead, it becomes a collection of rich, meaningful experiences that reflect who you are and what you value. This chapter challenges you to stop letting life happen to you and start taking control of your journey. It's an invitation to think deeply about what you want from life and to create a plan that makes those aspirations a reality. The ultimate goal. The ultimate goal of time bucketing is not just to organize your life, it's to maximize your happiness and fulfillment. By consciously aligning your time, money, and energy with your goals and values, you create a life that feels intentional, rewarding, and uniquely your own. This chapter is a powerful reminder that life is fleeting and precious. By starting to time bucket your life now, you take the first step toward living fully, without regrets, and with a sense of purpose that carries you through every stage of your journey. Chapter 8. Know Your Peak. This chapter focuses on the critical concept of knowing your peak, the point in your life when your time, energy, and resources align to maximize your ability to experience the world to its fullest. Understanding your peak is not only essential for living a fulfilling life, but also for making smarter decisions about how you invest your time, money, and energy. It's a call to recognize that your potential isn't infinite across your entire life. There are certain windows when you are at your best, and identifying them can transform how you live. The concept of your peak. The idea behind knowing your peak is rooted in the understanding that different stages of life bring different strengths. Your peak isn't just about physical health or mental capacity. It's a blend of factors that come together at certain points in your life. These peaks vary from person to person, but they typically coincide with specific times when you are physically capable, mentally sharp, and free from the major responsibilities that can drain your time and energy. Your peak might happen in your early adulthood when you're healthy, energetic, and relatively unencumbered by commitments like family or career. Alternatively, for some, it could come later in life during retirement or when you've achieved a certain financial security that gives you the freedom to explore your passions. What matters is recognizing when this peak occurs for you so you can seize it to live your best life. Physical and mental peaks. Your physical peak is often assumed to occur in your 20s or 30s when your body is at its most resilient. But your mental peak can come at a different stage. Some people experience their cognitive sharpness in their 40s or 50s when they've accumulated wisdom and experience. Acknowledging this allows you to adjust your expectations and use your resources wisely. You can choose to focus on more physically demanding pursuits when your body is strongest, or lean into intellectual or creative projects when your mind is at its peak. However, it's important to note that your peak isn't always about what you can do, but rather about the specific combination of time, energy, and desire. This chapter urges you to assess your life honestly, identify when you feel at your best, and understand how you can harness that energy to create a life that feels truly rich. Why knowing your peak matters. Understanding your peak allows you to align your life in a way that maximizes happiness and fulfillment. Too many people wait until their later years to consider how they will spend their time or energy, only to find that their physical or mental capabilities have diminished. By recognizing your peak, you gain insight into when to take risks, pursue dreams, or focus on personal growth. Knowing your peak also helps you avoid the trap of putting off life's meaningful experiences for a future that may never come. Many people delay their dreams, thinking that they can always travel, learn, or take on new adventures later. Yet, without realizing it, they miss the optimal window to pursue those passions. By knowing when you are most capable of fully experiencing life, you can allocate your resources, including time, money, and energy, at the moments that matter most. Identifying your peak. The first step in knowing your peak is taking an honest inventory of your life. This means considering when you are most energized, when you have the mental clarity to pursue goals, and when you feel truly alive. Is it when you are exploring new ideas or when you're engaging in physical activities that challenge you? Are you in your 20s, full of energy but perhaps less focused, or in your 40s, where you have more clarity but less stamina? The chapter encourages you to think about your past experiences and reflect on when you felt most vibrant. Ask yourself, when have I felt most alive and fulfilled in my life? What activities bring me the most joy or sense of purpose? When have I had the most energy to pursue my passions? By reviewing these moments, you can start to pinpoint your peak. It's not always obvious, but when you look back at your life with a critical eye, you may find patterns that point to certain times when you had the most alignment between your physical and mental states. Don't wait for your peak to come. One of the dangers people face is thinking that their peak will come naturally, without any effort on their part. The truth is, unless you consciously pursue your peak, it can pass you by unnoticed. Life often gets in the way. Work, family, financial concerns, and other obligations can cloud our ability to recognize the unique opportunities in front of us. The chapter stresses the importance of being proactive. It's essential to plan your life with intention, and once you identify your peak, use it as a launching pad for the rest of your journey. Whether it's using your best years to travel, start a business, learn a new skill, or build meaningful relationships, knowing your peak means you can make conscious decisions to invest in what truly matters. Balancing risks and rewards. During your peak, you are at a stage where you can take on calculated risks, whether personal or financial. You are likely more comfortable with yourself, more confident in your abilities, and capable of navigating the challenges that come with pursuing your dreams. Recognizing this gives you the courage to make bold choices that can lead to remarkable rewards. However, it's essential to balance ambition with caution. The chapter emphasizes the importance of assessing the potential risks and rewards of your actions, but also understanding that this is the moment to act. Too often, people wait for the perfect time to act, which never comes. If you wait for perfection, you might miss the opportunity to experience your peak. The role of reflection. As you continue to age, it's crucial to reflect on your experiences and achievements. Doing so enables you to refine your understanding of your peak and adjust your goals as you move through different life stages. Reflection helps you appreciate what you have already accomplished and understand what you still want to achieve before you reach the next phase of life. In this chapter, reflection is presented as not just an exercise in memory, but as a tool for growth. Regular reflection can help you reassess your life's direction, evaluate your priorities, and understand whether you're making the most of your peak. The power of awareness. The power of knowing your peak lies in awareness. When you're aware of the right moments to act, you avoid the regret of missed opportunities. You live more purposefully, with intention and clarity. It gives you the confidence to embrace the experiences that matter and the wisdom to know when to slow down and savor the quieter moments in life. Ultimately, knowing your peak isn't just about maximizing productivity or achievement. It's about ensuring that your life feels meaningful, rich, and fulfilling at every stage. It's about seizing the right moments, making bold choices, and living authentically. When you know your peak, you can stop wasting time and start living the life you were always meant to live. Chapter 9, Be Bold, Not Foolish. This chapter encourages readers to embrace boldness in their lives, but with a critical distinction. Boldness should never be mistaken for foolishness. Living a fulfilling, purpose-driven life requires making courageous decisions, taking calculated risks, and having the confidence to act when the opportunity arises. However, boldness must be tempered with wisdom, insight, and a clear understanding of the potential consequences. The key message is to act boldly, but do so intelligently. The difference between boldness and foolishness. Boldness is about pushing past your comfort zones, challenging the status quo, and daring to dream bigger than you thought possible. It's the willingness to say yes to experiences that may feel daunting or uncertain, but hold the promise of something greater. Boldness is vital for breaking free from routine, for stepping out of fear, and for living a life that feels adventurous and meaningful. Foolishness, on the other hand, arises when boldness becomes reckless or impulsive. It's when you make decisions based on fleeting emotions, without fully considering the potential risks or long-term impacts. Foolishness is about chasing excitement without considering the consequences, or taking risks without preparing for the inevitable setbacks that come with them. In this chapter, the importance of assessing risks carefully and weighing options thoughtfully is stressed. Boldness must be anchored in wisdom, reflection, and planning. Why boldness is crucial for living fully. Living a life of boldness is a direct path to maximizing the experiences that make life extraordinary. Without boldness, you remain stagnant, trapped in a cycle of fear and missed opportunities. Whether it's a career move, a new relationship, or a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, the willingness to take bold steps opens doors to new dimensions of joy and growth. The chapter stresses that boldness is what allows us to move from thinking about our dreams to acting on them. It's easy to be cautious and stay within the confines of comfort, but growth, excitement, and fulfillment lie beyond these boundaries. Boldness invites you to act in the face of uncertainty, to take chances that could lead to personal transformation and profound experiences. However, boldness doesn't mean throwing caution to the wind. Instead, it's about calculated risk-taking, knowing when to leap and when to wait. It's a fine balance of daring without disregarding common sense. The role of fear in bold decisions. Fear is an inevitable part of boldness. Whether it's the fear of failure, judgment, or loss, there are always barriers to overcome. However, in this chapter, Fear is reframed as something that can be a tool for growth rather than something to avoid. The key is not to let fear dictate your actions, but to acknowledge it, face it, and move past it. Being bold doesn't mean the absence of fear. It's about learning how to act despite it. The chapter encourages readers to challenge their fears by thinking critically about what's holding them back. Is it fear of the unknown, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong choice? Often, once we acknowledge these fears, we realize they are based on assumptions, not facts. Boldness arises when we push through those barriers and make decisions that are aligned with our values, passions, and dreams. Calculated risks and intelligent decision-making. Boldness is most powerful when it is based on a foundation of careful planning and thought. This chapter emphasizes that the most rewarding bold decisions often involve risk, but that doesn't mean blind risk. It's about evaluating the risks involved, weighing the potential rewards, and making decisions based on solid reasoning. It's essential to differentiate between mindless risk-taking, where we act impulsively and without thought, and intelligent risk-taking, where we acknowledge the risks but move forward with a clear sense of purpose. Intelligent decision-making allows us to take advantage of opportunities that align with our values and goals, while avoiding unnecessary risks that could derail us from our path. The chapter suggests that we ask ourselves key questions before making bold decisions. What do I stand to gain from this decision? What am I willing to risk? What is the worst-case scenario, and can I handle it? Is this bold move aligned with my long-term vision for my life? By asking these questions, we give ourselves the tools to make bold decisions that feel right, rather than simply acting on impulse. Boldness in action, taking the first step. The chapter drives home the point that boldness isn't just about big, life-changing moments. It's about consistently making the decision to act, even in small ways. Boldness is something you practice daily, whether it's striking up a conversation with someone new, pursuing an unconventional career path, or traveling somewhere you've never been. Every step forward is a step in the right direction. One of the most significant obstacles to bold action is the fear of failure, but the chapter encourages reframing failure as part of the learning process. When we fail, we gain valuable insights, resilience, and clarity. Boldness isn't about guaranteeing success, it's about learning to move forward despite setbacks and not letting temporary failures deter you from continuing on your path. The importance of surrounding yourself with boldness. Another key point the chapter touches on is the importance of surrounding yourself with boldness, whether through relationships, community, or mentorship. When we surround ourselves with people who encourage us to take risks, challenge us to grow, and model boldness themselves, it becomes easier for us to embody that same energy in our own lives. Bold people inspire boldness in others. They show us that living fully means stepping outside our comfort zones and reaching for what we truly want. By being around such people, you gain the confidence and motivation to make bold decisions in your own life. The long-term benefits of boldness. Boldness is not just about immediate gratification. The rewards of bold actions compound over time. Whether it's investing in personal growth, pursuing a dream, or taking a leap of faith in your career or relationships, the benefits of bold decisions extend well beyond the moment. Boldness leads to a life of meaning, impact, and self-actualization. When we take risks, we grow. We gain wisdom, experience, and new perspectives that enhance the richness of our lives. Boldness creates opportunities for personal reinvention, pushing us to learn new skills, meet new people, and step into new roles that we never would have imagined for ourselves. A life without boldness is a life half-lived. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder. A life without boldness is a life half-lived. Without boldness, we remain stagnant, confined by the walls we've built for ourselves. Boldness is the key to transformation, whether it's in how we view the world, how we relate to others, or how we pursue our dreams. In the end, the most significant thing you can do in your life is to be bold, not foolish. Being bold is about having the courage to face your fears, make calculated decisions, and take action in pursuit of a life that feels vibrant, meaningful, and full of purpose. When you make bold choices, you open the door to the life you've always dreamed of. Conclusion: an impossible task, a worthy goal. In the final chapter, the journey comes full circle, presenting both a challenge and an invitation. The task set forth is impossible by design, living a life that maximizes your experiences and resources without leaving a single dollar or unspent moment behind. Yet, the beauty of this paradox is what makes it worth pursuing. The goal isn't about achieving perfection, it's about embracing the journey, making intentional choices, and striving toward a life lived fully. This concluding chapter underscores the importance of living with a sense of urgency, but also with wisdom, reminding us that although we can't get it all right, we can still achieve something deeply fulfilling by living with purpose. The impossible task. The idea presented in this final chapter is daunting. How can you possibly spend all your resources in the best way, ensuring you live to the fullest while avoiding regret at the end? The author admits this is an impossible task. Perfection is out of reach because life is messy and unpredictable, filled with variables outside of our control. No one can perfectly balance the accumulation of wealth and the enjoyment of life's experiences without making mistakes, facing setbacks, or missing opportunities. This impossibility is not a reason to give up. Rather, it's a reason to embrace the challenge and make bold decisions to live intentionally. This chapter makes it clear. This task is not about perfection, but about direction. The author stresses that it's not the absence of errors that leads to a fulfilling life, but the continuous effort to pursue richness in experience, connection, and contribution. When you take bold steps towards living fully, it doesn't mean that every moment will be without regret or uncertainty, but that you are constantly engaged in the pursuit of what truly matters. And in that, you create a life that is rich in meaning, regardless of the inevitable stumbles along the way. A life of experience over accumulation. The overarching message in this final chapter is about shifting focus from accumulation to experience. It's about understanding that wealth is not the end goal. Living with purpose, experiencing joy, and connecting with others are the true markers of success. The task isn't about hoarding resources for some distant future, but instead using those resources to fuel a life of memorable experiences. Life's true wealth lies in the richness of your stories, the depth of your relationships, and the impact you have on others. By spending intentionally and wisely, you can ensure that the wealth you accumulate along the way serves a higher purpose. The chapter makes it clear that too many people spend their lives accumulating wealth only to realize at the end that they didn't live as fully as they could have. This conclusion is an invitation to choose differently, to live in a way that prioritizes adventure, learning, connection, and contribution. When we focus on living fully now, in the present, we build a life that's worth reflecting on in the future. The importance of urgency. In this final chapter, the author brings forward a sense of urgency, not to make hasty decisions or act impulsively, but to live with a mindset that acknowledges the finite nature of life. Time is limited, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that there will always be a later to experience everything we want. But later is not guaranteed, and waiting for the perfect time can lead to missed opportunities. This urgency is not about living recklessly or irresponsibly. Instead, it's about recognizing the value of each day. Every moment is an opportunity to make choices that will define the legacy of your life. If you know that time is limited, you can approach each day with intentionality, making choices that maximize the experiences that matter most to you. This urgency doesn't create stress or anxiety, but rather empowers you to make the most of your time. The pursuit of meaningful life choices. The chapter emphasizes that living a life of intention is about continuously asking the right questions and making thoughtful decisions based on what brings you fulfillment. The journey is not a linear one. It's filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. However, it's the questions you ask along the way that shape your path. What do I truly value? What experiences are worth investing in? What legacy do I want to leave behind? This final chapter asks you to take stock of where you are and where you want to go. It invites you to envision the kind of life you want to lead and encourages you to take action. The beauty of this approach lies in its flexibility. Life will always change and unexpected opportunities will arise, but by focusing on experiences over accumulation, you are able to adapt and continue living with purpose, living beyond regret. In the final pages, the author suggests that the antidote to regret is living with awareness and presence. The fear of regret often holds people back from fully embracing life, pushing them into patterns of hoarding wealth or avoiding risks. But regret isn't about what you do, it's about not doing what matters. It's about not taking the risks to explore new opportunities, learn new things, or build the relationships that will leave a mark on your life. This conclusion challenges us to think about what we might regret not doing at the end of our lives and to take bold steps toward avoiding that outcome. Instead of holding back and fearing the consequences of bold action, we are encouraged to ask ourselves what we will regret if we don't take those steps. This shift in perspective propels us to act with intention and to make life choices that align with our true desires. The worthiness of the goal. Ultimately, the last chapter is a call to action, a reminder that while the task may be impossible, the pursuit is entirely worth it. The goal is not about perfect execution, but about aligning your life with what truly matters to you and living it with purpose. The pursuit of a rich life of experiences, connections, and impact will undoubtedly come with challenges, but it is these challenges that make the journey meaningful. The chapter invites readers to commit to a life that values experiences over material wealth, that prioritizes meaningful connections, and that constantly seeks to live with purpose and intention. While perfection is out of reach, the goal itself remains worthy. And in the pursuit of that goal, we create a life that in the end is fulfilling beyond measure. By the end of this final chapter, readers are left with a powerful question. What will I do with the time, resources, and opportunities before me? The answer to that question, filled with boldness and purpose, defines not only the rest of your life, but the kind of life you will leave behind. This is the final challenge, an impossible task, yes, but one worth pursuing every single day. Thanks for listening to Die with Zero by Bill Perkins here on the Book Lounge. If this audiobook gave you a new perspective on living life to its fullest, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming life-changing reads. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What stood out to you? What lessons are you going to apply in your own life? Or maybe there was a moment in the book that completely shifted the way you think about money and time. Tell me about it. And hey, I'm always open to suggestions. What should we cover next? Drop your recommendations below. Your ideas might just inspire the next audiobook on the channel. Oh, and before you go, don't forget to check out the free one-page summary of Die with Zero. It's packed with all the essential insights to keep the lessons fresh and actionable. You'll find the link in the video description. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next audiobook.